Yo, what up you guys? Today I finally got the F35, or the Mustang RTR, aka Dark Horse. What it comes as originally. This is the DLC Mustang. Finally got this drift build for you guys today. I know you guys have been asking for it for a while, but the car's gone through like 3 or 4 different stages since the first time I was going to bring you guys this tune. So I'm sorry, but at the same time, I think it's finally in a state now where I'm very happy to share it. And we're doing a little different stuff today with it. So usually we're on street tires, but we're running the sport tires today, and that's because we're usually doing the super high speed section over here at Suzuka. You guys will see some gameplay, probably already saw it, and we also do this intersection as well, but we just like using the sport tires, and it brings a lot of grip to the build as well. As you guys can see here, sport tires. Obviously you're also going to want sport gas. So now let's go over to the garage and take a look at some of the settings. Alrighty, now that we're here in the garage, we're obviously going to be running the stock motor in this thing because there's no reason to switch this power plant. As a matter of fact, I'd probably suggest you buy a few of these motors extra because they are a really good V8 platform for this game. This and the Crown motor are 2 of my favorite V8s to use in this game. And for the transmission, we are going to be swapping to the T50S, and then we'll get into the body a little bit later, but you're going to want that 6-speed sport gearbox in there. So let's take a look at what we got done to the motor. We're all ultimate parts on this thing here, completely maxed out. And then everything here is maxed out as well. All the torques, high, medium, and low maxed out. Peak RPM, turbine pressure, rev limiter, everything is maxed out because we are going for a good old CS placement, okay? And for the drivetrain, we're also going to be on an ultimate clutch here. We also have a welded differential. This is just because this car is so quick already. I don't even need the viscous 60, and it's nice to have a lot of wheel spin with the sport tires to really get things moving. It's a little bit slower actually at low speed because of this, but high speed this thing just moves. And we also have the ultimate gearbox here as well. Now looking at the tuning, you guys can see my gear ratios here on the left. Feel free to copy those. Everything is as appears here. Gear shifting speed is minimal. Final drive 381, 341 first gear, 215 second, 175 third, 142 fourth, 109 fifth, 081 sixth. Reverse gear doesn't really matter, but I put it all the way to the left, and drivetrain loss is all the way to the left as well. Now, as we head into the body here, what you're going to want to do obviously is minimize the weight as much as possible, and then you're going to go ahead and swap the body, because what that's going to do is give you that extra 20 to 30 kilos off you guys saw right there. And then we're going to do the ultimate gas tank as well. And then obviously here, weight distribution is all the way to the rear for more grip. Center of mass is as low as possible. And yep, this thing feels pretty amazing, man. It has so much grip already. I don't really need to do anything to get more out of it. It's perfect how it's set up. Now for the front and rear suspension arms, you're going to go with the highest possible option. I did go with prototype for the rear. And for here we have an ultimate front anti-roll bar. We have no stabilizer in the rear. Everything else is all ultimate as well. And these are all the settings. I'm not going to say them, but you guys can go ahead and run through and copy them. So front and rear spring length, front and rear spring stiffness, front and rear stiffness on the anti-roll bars. You guys can see there the back is grayed out. Camber, wheel toe on the rear is maxed out. You guys can see that there. And then we're going to do the rest of the front suspension arms on the front. You guys see the caster, the Ackerman, steering angle, wheel toe. You guys see all that. Now let's get into the dampers here. You guys can see all that. Feel free to copy all of that. This thing does 3-wheel. It's pretty crazy. I got it a little bit stiffer though, so it is more like a realistic FD build. So it's not just bouncing around everywhere, because I do have cars that are literally just like a bouncy house. And it is a ton of fun to drive, but it's a little crazy, and I wanted to make this one super drivable for everybody. We actually got a decent amount of braking force on this one. You guys can lower that, feel free to, but I feel like the car kind of needs a little bit more, so we went with 17.6, but you can go anywhere from 15.6 to 17.6 and it'll feel pretty good. You just need that stopping force when you're moving so fast, trust me. 70 brake balance there as well. Now let's head into the tires now. Going into the tires here, you guys can see we got the front and rear spacers on ultimate obviously, and then we have 285 25 20 in the front, 345 25 20 in the rear. Big old tire in the rear there. We got +5 and +5 for both 30 profile on the front and rear. And as you guys can see here, by our tire pressure, we are max 3 bar in the front and rear, 51 offset in the front and 40 offset in the rear. Now I see you guys asking all the time why you don't have some of the numbers that I do. It's probably because you don't have the same wide body kit. So in order to have the same wide body kit, let's go over to the customization shop and take a look at that so you guys aren't confused by the setup when you get to the wheel offset. Alright, as you guys can see here, I am running the Street X kit, and that's going to give you the extended offset for this build, and also it is the actual RTR like FD wide body kit. This is what the stock car, the Dark Horse, looks like, and as you see here, it takes 10 offset from the front and rear with both of these other options. This actually adds more offset, but you don't need to go this crazy. Also, this is a GT3 kit or a GTE kit, so I would be kind of confused if I saw that on your drift car, but hey, to each their own, man. This thing's pretty baller. Got like an FD inspired livery here, and we also have the pink option that you guys saw in the other videos as well, and then this blue option here looks pretty cool, so super happy about that, man. But without further ado, man, I hope you guys enjoy. I know this is long overdue and I apologize for that, but just been doing a lot of things, working on both channels and grinding, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.